Hi, this is Rebecca with Cunningham and Company, and I wanted to talk with you about the strategy of converting a primary home to an investment property. Our market definitely has created a new normal, but in the past we expected that in order to buy a home, you needed to sell your current home so you could upgrade or downsize or move or whatever the strategy may be. But certainly our market is not the market that we've had in years past. So one strategy that I see buyers using right now is instead of selling their home, they're opting to rent their home, which then still allows them to make that next step that they had planned. And there are several different ways that we need to look at the financing as far as what program is going to fit the borrower and what's going to be the best for their situation. Some programs look at counting the payment in a client's debt ratio, some don't, some require reserves and some don't. So there are several different strategies, and I wanted to give you an overview of what those are so buyers can get a sense of what their right strategy might be. Now, what most people are concerned about is how to offset the payment on their current home when they rent it. So typically what we're going to look at are three things. We're going to look at the equity in the home, and depending on the program, looking at either 25 or 30% equity in order to offset that payment. We're going to look at reserves, so that's going to be liquid funds or investment funds, and that is going to be either no reserves, 2 months reserves, or 6 months reserves. And then of course to have an executed lease with proof of security deposit, and the lease needs to be at least for a year. When we're looking at FHA, there are two options depending on the equity in the home. If there's 25% equity, then that's going to take us down one path, and if there's less than 25% equity, that will take us down another. The main thing to consider is how is that equity established. And it's either going to be with an appraisal that's going to be less than 6 months old, or comparing the original sales price to the loan balance, and then some other requirements to back up that lease. And then if there's less than 25% equity, then we do have to qualify with both the current home's payment and the proposed house's payment. So that's going to be the difference as far as if rental income may or may not be used in the case of using the purchasing home with FHA. An exception to that would be that if somebody's relocating. So this would be if someone is converting a home in the present area to an investment property. But again, if they're relocating, then that doesn't qualify. With conventional, we're looking at a 30% equity. And same thing, that's going to be established either through an appraisal or comparing the current balance to the original sales price. And the same thing, depending on the equity and if there's a lease in place, will dictate whether that rental income may or may not be used. Again, my name is Rebecca Matich. I would love to answer any questions that you or your clients have about converting an existing home to rental property so they can buy, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.